It's about 6:15 on the morning of October 20th, 2018. Calvin Castine along with Judy Castine, and we're here for the 26th annual North Country Honor Flight. It's the downstairs at the old base gymnasium at the Plattsburgh Air Force Base. North Country Honor Flight members, and along with all their cohorts, particularly all the motorcycle groups and the veterans groups, they're gathering here. A lot of past trip takers, people who have gone on the North Country Honor Flight to Washington, D.C. in the past, and a lot of familiar faces here. As we said, this is the 26th annual. We'll find out as the day progresses what the total number has increased to. There's a couple of gentlemen today, the LePage brothers, who will be honored here but will not be taking the flight. This guy here I know will be taking the flight. I don't know if he'll talk to me or not.
Yeah, hi.
How are we doing, Fred?
Nice to see you.
Same here. I saw your name on the list.
This is exciting. This is exciting. I was really surprised how many people are coming out here. My goodness. This is a big deal. This is my friend.
I'm Anthony.
Anthony Garami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very proud of my friend Fred and his service.
You're going to be his escort?
Guardian.
Yes, sir.
Guardian?
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
You got to make sure he doesn't get in trouble, you know.
No, that's it.
Fred's a troublemaker, that's for sure. Rebel rouser.
Yeah.
Mr. Fred Arce, I got the list yesterday because I like to double check it before we take off. I didn't realize you were that old, Fred. You look so young.
I'm afraid so. My goodness, 84.
84.
Yeah.
A young 84.
God, another couple of months, 85, the big one. Another big one. I've been hitting a lot of those. Yeah.
Well, you had that big 60th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's right.
Impressive.
Had our 60th there in August the 30th. We had our 60th anniversary, my wife and I.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah. It's been quite a year. Yeah.
So which was harder, the military service or the 60 years?
Yeah. Well, the 60 years were a long time.
He kept re-upping for it, so he must have been...
Military service was very short in comparison.
Yeah, short-term commitment.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll enjoy your day. So.
Well, thank you. That should be something. Too bad you can't come along with it.
We went last time. We went to.
Did you?
Got some video. The video's online if you want to check. We've got the video online about the last trip. So.
Okay. I'd like to have seen that.
You could have watched it and you could have realized what you're in for.
Give me an idea what was coming in. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Kevin.
All right, Fred Arce. Yeah. Fellow I've known since I was a kid. He came up to the North Country as a kind of like a fresh air type of a situation, and stayed with the Renadette family, and has been coming back to the North Country ever since. And great photographer, Fred Arce. Gordy Little and I did an interesting interview with him and his photos from Machu Picchu in South America, and he just worked for the Press Republican for a good number of years. So a lot of people know Mr. Fred Arce. Every time I come here, this guy's running around acting like he's busy. Why is that, sir?
Last minute pieces you got to put together, but it's a beautiful puzzle to put together, that's for sure.
All right, Barry Finnegan, the executive director. I forget what the exact title is. I know I have to bow when I mention your name, but
that's all right. Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't able to make it, but had a nice time at Saranac Central, I hear, recently.
Gosh,
huh?
What a great group of kids, and the students and the coaches and the whole faculty and the parents. What a great program they have out there. And to do that, Fight for the Flight, they called it. And it's been going on for quite a while. They've been doing fundraisers, and each student was responsible for a certain portion of it. And they had a great night at the game. The boys' night had a fabulous night. They actually had the Border Patrol Color Guard was down there, had the helicopter flyby. 1 week later, the girls' game was on, and they just had a great night. We had a ton of veterans come down and meet the kids, and you just see the interaction between the veterans and the kids, and it's just fantastic. The boys came to the meeting the other night and all presented a check to us, and that's why they're the sponsor of this flight. They raised enough money, and I believe it was $11,400.
This is the soccer teams at Saranac Central.
Soccer, boys and girls teams. It was a combined effort, and the boys presented the check, and the girls are coming in today to be here at the ceremony. So we're proud to have them as a sponsor, that's for sure.
So they're sponsoring this flight. Looks like we had a sponsor last flight. And
Yep. It's fallen into place where the sponsors are lining up. We got a couple companies we've been talking with, so we hope that all comes through, and it really helps out. It helps us in our fundraising events and takes the worry out of things.
Oh yeah, you got enough to do without worrying about where that next dollar is coming from.
That's exactly. No, we got too much attention that our veterans need, that we can do those extras and the pluses that we're kind of known for.
Now, of course, Saranac has been involved with the honor flight with Elise's group right from the start.
Since day one, yeah. The Freedom Club out of Saranac has met our veterans on the May flight every year, 6 years in a row now. And the funny thing is some of those kids that are on the soccer team were also on the Freedom Club. So they've seen it firsthand down at the memorial, what this is all about. And you can just sense it. There's a feeling, and they put their heart and soul into this effort. And it didn't come easy, but they definitely came through with shining colors.
I know I'm going to mess up her name, Elise Bollier.
Elise Bollier. Yep. She's the head of the Freedom Club and does a remarkable job with those kids. And again, there's a whole bunch of fundraising involved in that to get, I believe it's 50 plus students on a trip that it's not just a one-day trip. They go down for quite a while. They stop in New York City at the memorial down there, the 9/11 memorial, and then they go on to Shanksville and go down and see all the memorials in Washington. So.
Gettysburg and all that stuff.
Yep.
And of course, so we can't forget that group of elementary kids from Morrisonville Elementary either, can we?
They're coming back again, and we're so pleased to have them when they sing that song. I mean, it's an original song that they wrote together with Roy Hurd.
Roy Hurd, yeah.
And when they perform it, these people all don't know it yet, but there's not going to be a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, that's of course that's again part of the Saranac School District, and so they've been very much a part of this.
And we've been out there to do, I've probably been there 10 times to do school presentations, to meet with the various classes. I just did the 3rd grade last week, and it was a fantastic event. And those students walk out and they've got a better understanding of what a veteran means. And also our veterans get to go meet them, and they just love it. They love the kids, and the interaction is something special to watch.
Okay, yep. Then of course what we're talking about is that group that sings Red, White, and Blue, and they'll be here, you said, again today.
They'll be here this morning.
I was talking with Joe Lotemplio, and he said they were at Saranac Central, at the school, at the soccer field that night too. So.
Yeah, they did both the games. They did the boys game on a Friday night and the girls game on a Saturday night, and they were fabulous as always. It's a great effort again. I mean, to get all those kids together on evenings to perform like that, and just a great group of people. Could never say enough about Saranac Central, the total program. We're honored to be a partner with them.
All right, well, I'll let you get going. I know you got a thing or two to do yet, Barry.
Maybe 1 or 2. Thanks,
Thank you. All right, Barry Finnegan, and it's always hectic, but controlled chaos, I think we're going to call this. Controlled chaos here on this Saturday morning flight when everybody is taking off. There's always people that are experiencing it for the first time, but there's so many people who have been here and keep coming back because... All right, we stopped suddenly because we had some things going on behind us. People keep coming back because once they've been here, they really enjoy the experience, and they know how important it is when you see the faces of the veterans. And this time here, this trip here, there will be some World War II veterans who will be going on the trip. And we're still looking around, looking to see who else we might chat with. We've heard from an official source, Sheriff Richard Cutting from Essex County, who is not running for office this year. This will be his last excursion here with the honor flight. And he's moving out of the state, we've been told. So the honor flight committee will be hard pressed to replace Sheriff Richard Cutting, who's been an important cog in that Essex County wheel for what's been happening here for the past 4 or 5 years. Looks like some of the Saranac girls soccer team is here. Haven't seen them since last night at George Brendler Field. They are moving on into the finals. They'll be facing Beekmantown. Oh, that's Shazy. Oh gosh, I'm really in trouble now. Those are Shazy girls.
What about like
I didn't realize they were going to be here. I looked at some of those faces. I said, wait a minute. I thought that was a Shazy player, and sure enough, it's Shazy. So my apologies to Saranac and to Shazy. And he's always busy, but we're going to take a moment here. Richard Cutting just mentioned here on camera that this is your last trip here with the North Country Honor Flight.
It will be, unfortunately. This is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, but you know, retirement comes along. I've got 41 years with the Sheriff's Office, and it's time to retire right off into the sunset. But you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of things that go with that. But we'll be moving to Maryland where my daughter is, so I'll just pick them up on the other end.
We'll be seeing them down there, so I won't see you in the basketball courts either then.
No, probably not. You know, there's a lot of little loose ends there.
So were you involved right from the beginning?
No, but I came in, I think, the second year. I was asked to be a guardian, and I had no clue what it was. And I said, oh, sure. I was a guardian for a World War II naval vet who was in Okinawa. And once you get started, you are hooked for life with these guys. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So we got to warn future flight people that they'll look out for you when they get down to Washington then, right?
Yeah. When we get down there, I can meet them at the airport and jump on the bus and go with them.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you very much.
All righty. There's Dash. Dash will be going. Does Dash talk or no? He will be going on the flight. He was on the last one. And we see our friend Bill LePage arriving here. If you want to know who the last person is that Bob Venn talked to on what's going on here, and the first person that Gordy Little talked to with our little corner, it's this fellow right here, Mr. Bill LePage.
Kenny? Yeah, I guess you can.
I'm coming over here to get some photos here with Bill. But in June, probably the 24th, I'm guessing, Bob Venn and I did our annual, at that time, preview of the Clinton County Fair, and we talked to Bill LePage. And 24 hours later, Bob was suffering a heart attack and passed away on June 25th, 1997. And then, that, of course, took me totally by shock. I said, well, I need somebody to fill in for what Bob's been doing. So I contacted Gordy Little, who just left the Wiry Radio. And we said, sure, we'll give it a shot. And Gordy jumped on, and the first program we did was at the Clinton County Fair with Bill LePage. So just a little bit of trivia. Bill's been a great part of the North Country for a good number of years, serving in a lot of capacities. Not quite sure why the Shazy team is here, and our apologies again for the mistaking them for the Saranac squad that Barry Finnegan said would be here. And there's the Morrisonville group, I'm guessing, that's going to sing the Red, White, and Blue. and we're going to get ready for the morning's program coming right up. We're getting closer to the actual event, but before the event takes place, I want to warn this fella here who is going on his first trip.
I am.
Why are you going on that first trip?
So for this flight, Flight 26, I'm the assistant flight leader, and then in May, I'll serve as the flight leader for the 27th flight.
If you don't get scared away after going through Washington, D.C. on two wheels.
I don't think I'll be scared away, but I'm really looking forward to participating in this program today.
All right, Mike Cashman, sometimes known as the town supervisor in Plattsburgh, but that's not the hat you're wearing today, is it?
Not the hat today. Not the hat today. You know, but I appreciated Barry and the entire North Country Honor Flight family for embracing me as a volunteer. It's been a program that I've participated in for a while now, from the street drives and other programs. And when I had the opportunity to serve in this volunteer role, I just couldn't turn it down.
So Scott Aubin is the flight leader today, along with his cohort Dash.
Yep, and they've done an incredible job, and I'm very appreciative of Scott taking me under his wing and showing me the ropes. And we've had an opportunity to do some home visit with the veterans before, passing out jackets and a number of things. It should be a good day, a full day.
Yes, that's the one thing with the flight leader. It's not just show up and go on the flight. You got to do a lot of preparation, meet all these people before. Everybody's going on that flight. You got to meet them beforehand and get to know them.
Yeah, I mean, someone was saying that each trip arguably, takes over 100 hours to assemble from all the elements. It's the interviews, it's getting the jackets and the hats, the bios, working with the airplane, and everybody as part of that North Country Honor Flight family takes a piece of it, carries it, and makes sure that we get it to the end. So. It's pretty incredible. Having had the opportunity to go to the General Assembly meetings over the last several months, you see a lot of volunteers at the events themselves, and it's 3 or 4 rows deeper than that for the whole organization. It's absolutely incredible.
It's just amazing. And, it's amazing what happened there at Saranac Central just a few days ago, isn't it?
It is. I always look at things of inspire by example. The next generation, those kids inspire by example. I mean, that's absolutely remarkable, and I'm so glad that they're the honorary, sponsors for this particular flight too.
Okay, I hear them testing the mic, so I better let you go.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Mike Cashman, that's not the mic they were testing. They're testing the microphone, not him. Now this is Saranac Central here, unless I miss my guess. And they're here with Fight for the Flight, it's called. Well, these are the kids I saw last night, the Shazy girls I've seen many times, and as I said, she's number 8, I think, right there, as I recall. I don't know if number 5 is here. She scored 3 goals, an 8th grader last night, scored 3 goals to seal the 3-1 victory. So, again, we're not quite sure why Shazy is here, but we'll probably find out before the day is over. And again, I apologize to both of those squads. I know the kids look familiar, but I see a lot of faces in the course of a soccer season.
I think we're going to take our seats.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Honor Flight number 26. At the end of today, we'll have taken 390 North Country veterans on a day of a lifetime. Very special day, many things going on. I'd like to send out a big thank you to the Shazy soccer team for coming down this morning so bright and early and for making their donation. We appreciate that. public service announcement. Reach Across America is coming up. Christmas will be here before we know it. And if anybody wants to check into that, go to the website. And it's a great organization. Thank you, Scott.
ReachAcrossAmerica.org, 15 December.
This is kind of a bittersweet day for us for one special reason. We've had a long-standing member of the North Country family that this will be his last send-off ceremony. Our Director of Operations, Sheriff Richard Cutting. Where are you, Rick?
Right where I usually hide.
Usually not hard to find. This will be his last ceremony as far as being up here. He's moving down in the Maryland area, and he will be seeing us down there at the memorials, meeting our bus and all that. We could never even begin to scratch the surface to tell Rich what he has meant to this organization and where we are because of his efforts. We could never put it into words. So, Richard Cutting, Director of Operations, thank you, thank you, thank you. On that same note, we think we have a replacement already. Didn't take long here. We're very, very happy to have some extra people stepping up and helping out our organization. And we hope everything continues the way it is. And we found a person that we think is going to fit that spot perfectly. And we're excited to have her on board with us. Very few people were in that meeting in 2013 that started North Country Honor Flight down at the Keysville Fire Station. One of those ladies is our new Director of Operations, Mrs. Janet Dupree. No backing out now, Janet. As this fall came aboard, we've had a couple events happen. One of them has been the Saranac soccer team. Their boys and girls team, both of them, have done fundraisers that have been ongoing. This wasn't just a one-game event that happened. The boys had their game a week ago Friday. The girls had their game last Saturday night. And there was continuous fundraisers as well as the food booths, the ticket at the gate to get in the games. And again, I could never even begin to explain how much effort and time that this team and the boys team, who's not here today, the boys team have a game later on, so they're preparing for that. I want to thank the girls team for coming out so bright and early also. We appreciate that. They put forth an effort and ended up raising $11,400. Flight number 26 is called the Saranac Boys and Girls Soccer Flight. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to the professionals. Our MC for these events is irreplaceable as well. We want to thank from Mountain Lake PBS, and he's also going today on this flight to record our events. So look forward to that coming up in the future. But Mr. Tom Howland.
Good morning. What an incredible crowd. I think this is one of the largest crowds we've had. Thank you very much. Let's get things started with the national anthem. We are inviting up Ron Wood and Michelle Rawls to begin things this morning.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Pledge of Allegiance, and today we have some special guests to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Boy Scout Troop 46 from Beekmantown and Boy Scout Troop 39 from Plattsburgh.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. You may be seated. I would like to take a few moments to introduce some of the political leaders and dignitaries joining us this morning. Our new Director of Operations and former Assemblywoman Janet Dupre. Nice to have you here. Rotary Assemblyman Billy Jones is with us this morning. Also, Clinton County Sheriff Dave Favreau is here with us. And sometimes Colin Reed hides in the crowd. Is the mayor with us this morning? And at this point, Dave Andrews from Wyrie is here as well. Scanning the crowd. So we'll go right to the serenade.
Feeling better? Oh, yeah.
So at this point, we would like to introduce the Saranac soccer team to come on up. As Barry mentioned, incredible, both the boys and girls, raising $11,400. So please come on up and let's recognize them, folks.
Good morning. We are here today to represent the boys and girls soccer program from Saranac High School. This year, we used our senior game to honor veterans and to raise money for Honor Flight. We wore special uniforms, invited veterans, and had a patriotic theme to the night. We raised money before and during the game for Honor Flight. We were able to raise over $11,500. We had tremendous community support, and it was easy to raise money for this worthy cause. We would like to thank you for your service. We hope you had an amazing day. We feel grateful that we have been able to support Honor Flight in this way.
I'm just going to say one thing. Shazy is here. I know they raised money for Honor Flight, but they were also more than willing to participate in our senior game and support us in this cause. So we want to thank them as well for participating in our game for the last 2 years. They've always been really good sports about that, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much again to Shazy.
Great, thank you. I love the shirts. It is a pleasure to have the Morrisonville Elementary School chorus back with us this morning. 4th and 5th graders under the direction of Heidi Glover, they are here once again to perform their wonderful song, Red, White, and Blue. Shortly after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, students in Penny Nianhouse's 6th grade class worked with local musician Roy Bird on a song to express what the colors in the American flag symbolized to them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Morrisonville Elementary School Chorus performing Red, White, and Blue.
Red is for the honesty in its purest form, righteousness and spirit that can weather any storm. In the land of Lady Liberty, with her flag unfurled, welcoming the weary from all around the world. Raise it up, let it fly, let it dance across the boundless sky. Stars and stripes shining through, a symbol of who we are, red, white, and blue. Blue stands for freedom and American pride. It represents the sorrow when we remember those who died. It's the color of a hero's uniform and the ultimate price they paid. And all the million tears that fell on that September day. Raise it up, let it fly, let it dance across the boundless sky. Stars and stripes shining through, a symbol of who we are, red, white, and blue. Let it fly, let it dance across the boundless sky. Stars and stripes shining through, a symbol of who we are, red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue.
Wonderful to have them back. It is now an honor to introduce Essex County Sheriff Richard Cutting one last time. Good morning, everyone. We're here, free and proud, because of these men. And not just them. If you look around you in the crowd, you're going to see veterans everywhere. You're going to see out-of-place jackets, you're going to see the bike riders, you're going to see the police, you're going to see first responders. And we also have veterans all over the world making sure that we are here free and proud. And at this point, I'd like to call on Post 20 to perform military honors for all those veterans who can't be here, who have given their all so that we can be. Post 20. I'd like to ask everyone to rise, remove your headgear, or render the military salute, the hand salute. Assembly present arms. Order. March. Thank you, Sheriff. We're going to miss you.
Bye.
I would like to note with us today, Bill Finnegan is here. Bill, are you here in the crowd? Bill is the wonderful gentleman who makes the hats for the veterans that they receive, and you see them wearing all around, and he is here with us this morning. Also, I neglected to mention Michael Cashman is here, Town Supervisor Michael Cashman. Usually he's sitting right here with us, but he's running around today in his duties as flight leader. There he is. Hi, Michael. And Michael is working as the assistant flight leader today, so he is here in that capacity. And it is now my pleasure to welcome Scott Oppen, who is the flight leader today for this flight. He is here with Dash and with Mike.
I'll keep my remarks brief. I want to do two things. First and foremost, I want to thank Scott for being an incredible mentor. There's a lot of energy that goes into the North Country Honor Flight, and it truly is a family. And to our honored guests, our veterans, my generation owes you folks a great debt. And it is an incredible privilege and honor to accompany you folks today. I look forward to seeing you folks have an incredible day. Let's be safe, let's have fun, let's make lots of memories that will stay with you for the rest of life. God bless you and God bless America.
Thank you, Michael. First of all, I want to thank all the veterans for allowing me to come into their homes and do all the interviews and get to know each and every one of them on a personal level. There's been a lot of tears shed, a lot of laughs. I've had apple pie. I've had a couple cold drinks. But most of all, it's been a great experience getting to know each and every one of them as well as their families, and I thank you very much. So with all that being said, I'm going to start going through, oh, there goes Ash. With all that being said, I'm going to start introducing each and every one of our veterans as we present them with their orders. First up, we have Frederick Percy. Fred was a private first class in the United States Army from 1953 to 1955. He was stationed in occupied Germany in the 18th Infantry as a radio operator.
I hope you have a wonderful
Private first class, Frederick Percy.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Thomas Baudet. Tom Baudet was a sergeant major in the United States Marine Corps. He served from 1948 to 1991. He did tours in Korea, Vietnam, and just because of it, he also participated in Desert Storm. Tom has received over 25 awards, and these are a few of them. He's the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry, Bronze Star, Vietnamese Service Medal, 2 stars, Good Conduct, 7 times, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, the Purple Heart, and the Meritorious Mast. Next up, we have William Briette, Gunnery Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. Bill served from 1954 to 1958 in the United States Air Force. From there, he figured it got a little bit too boring for him, so he decided to join the Marines, where he served from 1958 to 1976. Believe it or not, Bill was an office machine repair specialist. He participated in Operation Starlight and the Tet Offensive. Gunnery Sergeant William Briette. Next up, we have James Chamberlain, Specialist 4th Class, United States Army. James Chamberlain served from 1954 to 1961. He was in the Army Engineer Battalion. He took photos as a part-time gig in the beginning. to make a little extra money. But he did such a great job, they pretty much made that his full-time job. So much for a part-time gig, right? Specialist fourth class, James Chamberlain. Liam English, United States Marine Corps, 1960 to 1966. Liam started his career with the United States Marine Corps in Quantico as a communicator. His career was almost cut short as one day, while in formation, he and a couple others thought it would be a funny idea to put a grasshopper in the M1 barrel for inspection. Thankfully, his gunnery sergeant started cracking a smile and laughed it off. Liam English. Ronald Hadley, Fire Control Technician, 2nd Class, United States Navy. Ron served from 1967 to 1971. He received the Vermont Service Medal, 2 stars, and the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal with 1 device. Ronald Hadley. Lieutenant Ronald Hadley, United States Navy. Lieutenant Hadley served from 1940 to 1945. He was in Operation Overlord, better known as D-Day, Operation Dragon, better known as the invasion of southern France, Okinawa, and Iwo Jima, all named synonymous with World War II and all the places where Lieutenant Hadley was in battle. Piloting landing craft from the USS Thurston, Lieutenant Hadley has seen the epic battles that changed the course of history. Lieutenant Ron Hadley. Ralph Hathaway, Spec 5, United States Army. Ralph served from 1957 to 1960 as a countermeasure specialist. He was stationed above the 38th parallel in North Korea. He told me one of the stories was that he liked to read the paper whenever the North shined the flight lights on him to try to irritate them. He said that it lasted all about 5 minutes before the floodlights burnt out. Ralph Hathaway. Staff Sergeant Herbert Bill Jones, United States Army. Herbert Jones, Bill Jones, served from 1957 of February to January of 1959. He served during the Korean conflict in occupied Berlin. As a mortar sergeant, I should say. Staff Sergeant Herbert Bill Jones. Robert Bob LePage, Seaman First Class, United States Navy. Bob served from 1944 to 1946. He served aboard the seagoing tug Powhatan, escorting ships in and out of port in the United States. Seaman First Class, Bob LePage. William LePage, Metalsmith, 3rd Class, from 1944 to 1948 in the United States Navy. He served aboard the LSD-17 as a deckhand and a welder. I'll tell you right now, William LePage and Bob LePage were 2 very tough individuals to get to agree to come on board this honor flight. They are not making the flight with us today, but each one of them was there for each other and they both agreed. But today they are also carrying in memory their brother, John Jack LePage, who served in Korea from 1951, 1952, and 1953, and they are carrying him in their hearts. They are my uncles, by the way. Harold Hite Morris, Boilerman 2nd Class, aboard the USS Fall River, United States Navy. He served from July 1942 to 48. Harold, or Hite, was one of the individuals as well who really didn't think that he deserved to go. And as we sat there and talked, I asked and pointed out to him, I said, tell me one individual right now who deserves it more than you, and I'll go meet that person. He couldn't do it. so he agreed to go, and he's here with his family from Augsburg. Raymond Newell, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps, from 1955 to 1959. He served with the Air Wing Supply as an Air Wing Supply clerk, supporting a helicopter squadron. He's one of the ones where I visited, and his family gave me apple pie. He's an amazing man with an amazing family, Raymond Newell. William Bill Swartz, Airman First Class, United States Air Force. Bill was a communications specialist in the Air Force from December '69 to February 1972. Bill is a very active member of the North Country Honor Flight, and it was our pleasure when Bill stepped up to fill a vacancy that we had. Bill, worth noting also, Bill is also the West Shazy Fireman of the Year. Airman First Class. Mark E. Sikora, United States Army, 1942 to 1945. He was a staff sergeant. Mark Sikora was also attached to the Office of Strategic Services in China. He operated a communication to the liaison planes used to spot targets and groups of enemy soldiers. Mark operated as part of a two-man intelligence team behind enemy lines. He also served in India and Burma. Mark survived not only friendly fire, since nobody knew they were there, but he also survived the trip over the hump. Mark Sikora. Lawrence Larry Spalding, Specialist Third Class, United States Army, 1955 to 1957. Lawrence served as a heavy equipment mechanic. One of the things, though, he was talking to me about was the fact that he was in his training. They would have target practice for the honor guard, and if they didn't take practice or participate in the target practice, they had the task of removing all the targets. So he figured that he was going to go ahead and participate. Well, he did so good, they tried to get to be a sniper 2 times. Lawrence Spalding, United States Army. And last but not least, Leland Lee Tebow. Private, United States Army, 1953 to 1955. Leland served during Korea in the 40th Infantry as a platoon runner radio operator in Sherwin Valley. When asked about allergies or medical concerns, I'm telling you, this guy's a comedian. He looked at me because when we take him, we want to make sure we're not going to deal with anything. He says, yeah, I'm allergic to mushrooms and redheads. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you, please give a round of applause, flight number 26.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Michael. It's now my pleasure to welcome Pastor Andy Kerr for our closing prayer.
Would you join me as I pray? Dear God, our Father and Lord, today we honor those who have dedicated their lives to our nation, keeping America the land of the free. These men and women who have proudly served and taken the uniform of their branch of military service, they have taken up their call. Lord Jesus, we pray together this morning with thanksgiving for those who have selfishly served our country and have done it with great pride that our country may be a land of safety and our foundations will be maintained. Bless these who have faced great hardships while in the service of our country. Some sacrifices, even known to this day. May this be for each a time of gratefulness in the midst of the memorials that they will experience and see in Washington. Together, may we all be reminded that this country is our country. And while we express ourselves in different ways, we stand as a nation. May your journeys be those that are safe. And again, I ask God's blessing on you. In the name of Jesus, I pray this. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you for attending this morning. Now, we would like everyone, if possible, to maybe stay in your seats for the Walk of Honor, because we have the military folks here on the side. And so, if you want to come over this way, we'd like to crowd around and salute the veterans as they head out. We want to remind you, you can follow the bus to the airport. That's always a tremendous sight to see the first responders on New York Road saluting the veterans, the giant flag. We also want to remind you, you're welcome at the airport tonight. We should be returning about 7:45. We would love to see all of you there to welcome our veterans back from their memorable day in Washington, D.C. Please join me now as I welcome Executive Secretary Pauline Stone as she introduces our veterans for our Walk of Honor as they board the Honor Flight Bus.
Good morning and thank you for coming. Frederick R.C., United States Army.
My job is to give hugs.
Thomas Bodette, United States Marine Corps.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, young man.
William Briette, United States Marine Corps. James Chamberlain, United States Army. William English, United States Marine Corps. Ronald Hadley, United States Navy. Ronald Hadley, United States Navy. Ralph Hathaway, United States Army. Herbert Jones, United States Army.
Yeah, tell me.
Just so I can follow mine here.
Yes, I am. Okay.
Robert LePage, United States Navy. William LePage, United States Navy. Harold Morris, United States Navy.
There you go, Bill. Yay, Bill! Yay, Bill!
Hold on to the wire. You're good. Oh, I know.
The wire. Have a great day. Grab that wire. I got it. Yeah.
Raymond Newell, United States Marine Corps.
You gotta see Janet first.
That's all right. I'll catch him.
I didn't hug him before. That's your job now.
Hey, and I'm not giving up this job. Have a great trip. Oh, all right. Let's just leave it on.
Okay, we gotta let.
I didn't have him before.
Mark Sikora, United States Army.
Okay. We gotta get into the bus.
Lawrence Spalding, United States Army.
Come on, is this a political picture?
Just because elections are coming.
United States Army.
Only the beginning.
We want a group picture of the four of you.
Why don't we put them? Okay.
Keep your hands up there.
Ready? Ready, Lee?
They are. Running boy.
All right, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. Oh, not boy Bill and
I'll see you over there. Okay.
Approximately 8 a.m. now. We are off the base on the other side of the traffic circle. We've left the oval and come to the circle. And the police escort, followed by the motorcycles, will be going by here, and then we'll race them to the airport. They're going at a slower clip today, which is good for us because sometimes we barely get there in time to see the motorcycles arrive at the airport. Always a great turnout. We've had probably 60 cars go by already. Here's the motorcycle group. As soon as the last official vehicle goes by, we'll hop in our vehicle and it's off to the races. Through our dirty windshield, we are arriving at Plattsburgh International. There's a rainbow greeting us. And we're gonna park and catch the entourage coming in. There's the other side of that rainbow, and we got a plane landing as we are here for the arrival. As always, the honor squad here, the color guard from American Legion Post.
Is that the plane that's going to take them?
912, here's the Knights of Columbus, 4th degree. Plane landing here at Plattsburgh International as the police escort usually comes in this lane, and then the bikers usually go in the other road. We'll see what they do today. Yep, that's what they're doing again. Just for logistic purposes, it's about 8:12 right now. But it's cool, and it's going to be a little cool on those bikes, but these folks are dedicated. They're right there from day one, from the first honor flight. The motorcycle group has been there for all 26. And how many more there are in the future, I'm sure they'll be there right along with those honor flights in the future. Very proud to say that Hometown Cable has been here for all 26, and of course Gordy Little's name is written on the back of that bus. And the little yellow bombs, each one of those has the name of the folks from previous honor flights. They got their attention last time when they were told that when they arrived home that there was a bomb on the bus and it had their name on it, so it got their attention. But there's honor flight number 25, and then today's honor flight number 26. And where's Dash here? There's Dash. Service dog for Scott Oppen. He was on the previous flight on September 29th. Today, once again, is October 20th.
The rainbow's still there. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna need. Okay, I need to get a couple milkshakes here. I hope not.
Folks are dedicated in law enforcement, the Knights of Columbus, and the military groups. You know, Pete Keenan is among those who've been on the honor flight. Again, this flight is sponsored by the Saranac boys and girls soccer teams.
Honor guard, stand hoot! I'm back here, Dash. Feel like I'm in the way? I know. You do. Present, arm!
Looks like Tom Halleck's expecting mild weather in in Washington. Good luck. American Legion Post 912. Photographer David Brown, he's been taking photos of these flights right from almost the very beginning, if not the very beginning. All right. Dash will lead them in. Our friend Bill LePage.
Okay, I'll wait for Bob to be.
Robert LePage. Not sure if there's one more. Looks like there is one more. We'll head inside and we'll catch him as he enters here.
No, I'm just going to say goodbye to your father.
Yeah, just got to bring us back. I got to bring them back. I'll bring them back.
is now off the bus. We'll catch him as he enters the airport. North Country Honor Flight, flight number 26. And I will try to find out how many veterans the total is now, as we before we shut the camera off for the final time. And if you've got any military folks that you know of who should be on this honor flight, it started pretty much exclusively with World War II. There are still some World War II veterans who are going today. They've evolved into Korea, and they don't have a long waiting list of Korean veterans, so they're moving into the Vietnam era and beyond. So any military veteran who is deserving, contact the North Country Honor Flight and get on their list. Colonel George King, who's here, he was executive director for a period of time, but he prefers to be in the background, and doing the work here is a lot of background. He runs things here when they arrive at the airport, make sure everything is set to go. Flight leader today, Mr. Scott Aubin. Scott, you were there last time when we went down, and you're going again, even though you took that bus ride through the city.
Yes, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great flight. Got a lot of anxious veterans. A few World War II veterans are going to be going. So, been a lot of work, but it's definitely worth the cause. So,
as I was talking with Mike Cashman, it's more than just showing up today. A lot of work, the footwork is done by you guys before all this.
Yes, definitely a lot of leg work. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare for it. Only 3 weeks from the last flight to this flight, and we had a few last-minute cancellations, but we got it all done, and looking forward to a great day.
Do you know what the total is now for all 26 flights?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, Barry said it earlier. I forget what it was. I wasn't, but yeah, no, I know. Well, we're doing 15 veterans a flight, so you can do the math. So.
All right. Well,
390 something. So.
390 something. We'll go with that. All right. So good luck to Scott and to Dash and Mike. And as you can see, it's helter skelter here.
Yep. We're just going to put him in a wheelchair.
And we had never come back to see the welcome back when they come back from Washington. They used to get back around 10. Now they're getting back in the 8 o'clock time period. But because we were on the flight last time to take the pictures, we experienced that, and also a nice turnout when they return from the flight too. So if you're not able to make it in the morning, contact the Honor Flight people, and they'll tell you what time to show up in the evening to welcome them back. This is going to pretty much wrap it up. Hometown Cable's look at North Country Honor Flight number 26. The veterans are in store for an interesting day, a non-stop day. Once they get on that plane, once they deboard in Washington, they go from one terminal to another and then hop on the bus, and they'll take in a variety of spots that people want to see in the Washington area. So all the war monuments, the Air Force monument, the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, a whole lot of stuff awaits these folks. So thanks for watching and supporting viewer-supported local television, Hometown Cable. We've been here for the 26th North Country Honor Flight. The next one will be in 2019. This will be the last one here in 2018. So again, thank you for watching.